So there's a federal judge who ordered Louisiana officials to remove incarcerated children from a former death row unit in the infamous Louisiana State Penitentiary by September 15th. Let's go to some HuffPost reporting about this. Chief District Judge Shelly Dick's Friday ruling followed a 7-day hearing as part of an ongoing lawsuit filed by teens in the custody of Louisiana's Office of Juvenile Justice. Dick found that the conditions of confinement at the prison, a former slave plantation, better known as Angola, amount to cruel and unusual punishment and violate the 14th Amendment, as well as a federal law protecting children with disabilities. So let's get into a little bit of the statement from the lead counsel, David Utter. For almost 10 months, children, nearly all black boys, have been held in abusive conditions of confinement at the former death row of Angola, the nation's largest adult maximum security prison. We are grateful to our clients and their families for their bravery in speaking out and standing up against this cruelty. Of the estimated 70 to 80 children who have been incarcerated at the Angola unit, the overwhelming majority are black. The state had previously assured the judge that conditions at BCCYWF would be comparable to other juvenile facilities in the state, only in a more secure building. However, the children imprisoned at Angola report spending days in solitary confinement in windowless cells, losing access to education and disability accommodations, having limited phone calls and visits with their family, and being physically abused by guards. And Senator Turner, I'm thankful that they were, that these kids are removed, but it really shines a light on how, people in juvenile justice reform always call it the juvenile injustice system, the criminal injustice system, because it's disturbing to see the conditions that these children, literal children, are being forced to suffer through. And it's not a coincidence that most of the kids being put in these horrific conditions are black children and disabled children, because they do this, they think they can get away with it, because they think that these children, they won't have people advocating for them. And the fact that this was a former, slave plantation, just on top of all of it, utterly disgusting.
Yeah, they have been able to get away with it, Ray, and you have expressed exactly some of the points that I was going to make. So in Black church, we just say amen when the sermon has been preached. Glad that they're looking into it. I won't say it's a little too late. It is very late, but hopefully this will be the first step in ensuring that no child within the juvenile system has to deal with these kinds of conditions. And it certainly does not help with rehabilitation, which is supposed to be a part of the legal system itself for adults. And it especially should be part of the agenda when we're dealing with juveniles.
Absolutely, I can't even imagine the justification that they could attempt to make as to keeping kids in literal torture conditions in these prisons.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.